My people, hello. What is up? Welcome to my review of the Reptilian Discs Stego. Now, I bought this disc almost 100% because it had this awesome Jeff Goldblum stamp on it. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, sometimes I just want to own a disc because I think it looks cool and I just want it. But since I had it, you know I'm going to throw it, you know I'm going to test it, and I'm of course going to report my findings to you guys. Now, you may have already seen a video I posted a while ago featuring my friend Andy attempting to get any turn whatsoever out of this disc. You also might have seen me try to get some turn out of it on Instagram. It didn't happen. There is no turn to this disc. Is this the most overstable disc on the market? We'll get there. Stay tuned. Alright, so let's take a look at it first of all. There's Jeff in all his majesty. And yeah, Jeff Goldblum, he's just the man, so I have to have it. This disc is in the Fossil Flex plastic, and these are molded by Gateway, 172 grams. So the plastic is really firm overall, but it does have a little bit of a give to it. I'm not sure what this would be considered under Gateway's plastic names, in terms of soft, super soft, whatever. Maybe soft? I don't know. This thing is really rigid and stiff as far as I'm concerned, but I've always been kind of confused by Gateway's plastic names and their distinctions for what is soft, what is super soft. All of that stuff's kind of been a little strange for me over the years, to be perfectly honest. You know, as somebody who throws a lot of soft magnets, and I tried like a soft wizard, and the thing felt hard as a rock in comparison. So, anyway, not sure what this would be considered for Gateway. It's grippy. It feels fine. I like the little bit of give to it. It seems like it would soften up a little bit over time. But yeah. So here's a look at the profile on this thing. The very characteristic, interesting aspect of it is this dip here. So I believe they try to describe it as like a beaded top. It doesn't necessarily feel like a bead per se, but it definitely has that little indent. It's like a thumb track almost. And yeah, you can kind of put your thumb there if you wanted to when you're trying to throw it, or not. I kind of like it more out towards the middle of the flight plate. It does have a pretty substantial bead to it, for sure. And when you look at it, I don't know if it'll come up on camera, but it seems like this whole portion of the rim is kind of on an angle like that as it comes around the disc. Very unique, very interesting. I can't think of any other discs that really look much like this disc at all. This is after one field test. You can see it's got some wear on it, so this plastic will break in a little bit. But I don't think it's going to become flippy. Let's say that. The only disc I really have that's anywhere near this thing in terms of like design, I guess, would be my Caltrop, but still not really. That's kind of funny. The Caltrop actually fits in that little dip there, but still, you know, pretty different there. But the Caltrop is, I guess, the most similar to something that I have in my bag to the Stego, but still nowhere in the ballpark. Let's put it up also next to the only disc on the market that I think is even in the argument, which is the Justice. This is a DD Lucid Justice. Take a look at this guy. Super flat, huge bead, giant bead on this thing. This is also, as everybody knows, an exceedingly overstable disc. Larger diameter than the Stego. It's faster, and I'm going to go out and say it right now. I don't think it's quite as overstable. Alright, so I'm not going to go into the flight demos on this particular video because I don't feel like editing all that stuff in. You can go watch all the throws that we captured in the field in my video. I'll put the link down in the description below, but it basically just says like the most overstable disc in the world with a question mark, Disc Golf Nerd. If you want to look it up, you can see all the flights there. This has to be the most ridiculously, damn near uselessly overstable disc on the market. If there's anything else that's anywhere near as overstable as this thing, I've never tried it. I'm willing to bet I've tested more golf discs than most players out there, depending on where this falls into my progression of posting reviews that I'm filming and stuff. It's going to be hovering right around 200 or so reviews alone. That's not counting any of the other stuff that I've tested before reviews, after reviews, or anything like that. Stuff that didn't make it to review, etc. This has to be the most ridiculously beefy thing that I've ever thrown. It doesn't do anything. Like, it just goes left the instant it exits your hand. You can't get any flight out of it whatsoever. It's barely a frisbee. I mean, it's just insane how overstable this thing is. If you rip it over on like a roller jackknife angle, it just comes straight out and fades. Like, it doesn't do anything. It's really interesting. We also found out during field testing, and Andy demos it in the video, that if you throw it upside down like this, regular backhand, it's less overstable and has more glide that way. Now explain that to me. If you're a physicist out there, explain to me how this thing could be more overstable or less overstable thrown upside down and have more glide, catch more air like that. Because it definitely seemed to. We threw it upside down a few times. It has more glide and flies farther and less overstable upside down. Really fascinating. It's a really interesting disc to throw. It's a fun disc to have around just to mess around with, for sure. I had a good time with it. I honestly can't really see much of a use for this thing out there on the course. I'm not trying to bash the disc or whatever. But I gotta be honest with you guys, I can't think of a scenario where I would need a disc this overstable that flies that has such a small amount of distance potential. I just can't think of anything that I need to be able to throw full power and get less than 100 feet out of it. I couldn't even tell you how far it's going. It's going almost nowhere. Compared to something like this Megasoft Caltrop, I mean, this Megasoft Caltrop is like a meteor in comparison to the Stego. It's unbelievable. So anyway, I highly recommend checking out the video of us testing it out in the field if you really want to see what it looks like. It's an interesting disc to check out. I don't regret buying it by any means because it was fun to mess around with. I love Jeff Goldblum. It's all good there. I'm going to hold on to it. I'll probably hang it on the wall because I think it's just an interesting piece of disc golf history, if nothing else. I could see maybe if you lived somewhere that was crazy windy, it could be a useful disc for like just the most ridiculous hurricane force headwind approach ever. But you guys may know that I basically just won't play beyond a certain level of wind conditions. I'm just not going to play in that stuff. It's just stupid to me. But maybe if you just really love to be able to just crank something over on Anheuser and have it still come out, maybe just as like a goof disc to have in your bag to break out and dare somebody they can't throw at 300 feet. Something like that, because I don't think there's a person alive that could truly flip this thing over completely start to finish. I would love to have access to Wiggins or Simon or Eagle or Garrett Gerthy or one of these top absolute elite power throwers out there in the world to have them rip on this thing and see what they could get it to do. But I really don't think it's possible within the laws of physics for it to hold over and stay turned over throughout the entire flight. I think it will always come out, even if you got it to start turning, which we were unable to do at all. Even if you got it to start turning, I can't imagine it ever not coming out. So, that's my review on the Stego. Really fun disc. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys soon. Alright, cheers.